look at you or the camera.
No, you're fine. Welcome to The Q, a show dedicated to hope, inspiration, and giving back to the community. In the studio tonight, I have Caitlyn Gibbs from the Hockomock YMCA, who works with chronic disease programming and other programs through the Y. So thank you so much. I know it was a last-minute fill-in, so we'd like to thank our colleague over there for canceling last minute on us, but we're going to have so much fun. So thank you so much, Caitlyn.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
And so tell me a little bit about how you got involved with the Y and the programming that you do over there.
Sure. So my experience with the Y goes back to a kid. I grew up a Y kid. Family members worked for the Y and knew no different. Thought every kid had a chance to go to the Y, participate in swim lessons, sports, exercise. Moved to North Attleboro when I was about 10 years old, still a Y kid. And first job was camp counselor. Loved it, best job in the world. Went off to school, kept coming back to the Y, and through a grant position, I started trying to prevent and work on childhood obesity in the communities with our 15 school districts. So that's how I got started. And then in the last 7 years, my position's really changed to focus on the growing issues with chronic disease. So we have multiple chronic disease prevention and support programs for individuals living with or at risk for multiple chronic diseases.
And so what I asked you earlier before we came on is, what the heck is a chronic disease?
Yeah, definitely. So we support individuals with cancer, either individuals living with cancer or survivors. So that's really how our YMCA got into the chronic disease work, through the Live Strong at the YMCA program. We also have a program for individuals living with multiple sclerosis. Our goal is to try and get those folks comfortable in our wellness center, so a place that is supportive as they try to kind of regain strength and balance and mobility. We also work with individuals after they've had a cardiac episode. So once they graduate from cardiac rehab, they come to our Y and they're supported by, again, that kind of warm, comfortable setting as they try to get a little bit more independent. We have our blood pressure self-monitoring program, which is an evidence-based YUSA program that supports people that are living with high blood pressure. We also have our enhanced fitness program, which is for folks living with arthritis. Again, a YMCA of the USA evidence-based program. Evidence-based pretty much just means that it's been tested and it works. So it's nice to have those models to go out and talk about those programs. We also have our YMCA diabetes prevention program. So
is that a pre-diabetes or?
Yes.
Okay.
So great question. That is trying to help individuals reduce their risk of developing type 2 diabetes. So right now, currently 1 in 3 adults are living with pre-diabetes, which is putting them at risk for developing the disease, and only about 10% know it. So this is a huge epidemic and problem in the nation. So YUSA has developed this really great, intense curriculum that supports those folks through trying to lose 7% body weight and improve physical activity to 150 minutes. That's really a program that across the nation, WISE and other health organizations are really, really trying to disseminate to our community members.
So it sounds like you have a wide audience as far as everything from elderly, MS patients, the Live Strong program. Is that the same program that you were talking about with the cancer? Yeah,
so Live Strong at the YMCA was a partnership through the Live Strong Foundation and YUSA. So that's a 12-week program for cancer survivors. And for that program, it's survivors defined as point of diagnosis throughout their life. So we see young individuals come through our programs, and we have 90-year-olds come through our program. And it's really great because in that room, they're all, unfortunately, but by the end, fortunately, they bond through their cancer diagnosis. It's really, that program's pretty powerful.
And so, to shift gears just a little bit, what made you choose North Attleboro? I know you're a North Attleboro gal.
Yeah, so why
North Attleboro? Why? What makes that so special? I mean, I know what makes it special, but
yeah, it's great. I have the opportunity to work for all of them, which is fantastic. We operate kind of across the 3 branches. For me, I walk through the hallways and I think I learned how to be healthy here, and now I get the privilege of helping other people work on healthy habits. Our staff is fantastic. My colleagues, our programs aren't the typical Y programs, but everybody embraces them. Everybody supports them. Unfortunately, everybody knows somebody touched by one of these programs, and just, getting calls that someone walked through the lobby and saw our trifold, and one of my colleagues warmly embraced them and said, "This team can help you." It's just a great atmosphere.
And I think you raise an important point with the Y, and that is that even if you don't know the point person to get to, they will get you there. They will get you there because you just let them know what you need, and they will connect you with program directors, and everybody is very encouraging. And so it's nice because it's not your typical, what did you say earlier before the show? I love this. I love this quote.
So
gym and swim.
Yeah, the Y is a great place. From childcare to, seniors looking to bond and socialize. But what we like to do is try to show people we're not just a gym and swim. Our sports programs, our gym are great, and everyone learns to swim at the Y, but we're so much more than a gym and swim, and I think we continue to try to spread that message to everyone. And we really are, from our campaign to help people who can't afford to come to our Y, to our programs, we really are becoming so much more than that gym and swim.
So I think we want to touch upon that briefly, because I know there are scholarships available, and the Y does so many for not everybody that can be a Y kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So what would you like to say about that?
Yeah.
About being part of an organization that really gives back to children and families?
It's really amazing. So I touched upon quickly earlier that I grew up thinking that everybody had the means to go to the Y. So I did go, 300 Elmwood Street after school with friends, and Y dances and camp and sport class. And it wasn't until about high school that I was introduced to the campaign, realizing that not everyone does have that opportunity. I was a camp counselor, I was a camp director, and saw the kids that, really wouldn't have been able to be there unless they were helped through our scholarship program. And it really made me proud to be part of an organization that did that. We don't turn anybody away. It's a confidential process. We don't really have any idea, walking through the hallway, who's on assistance.
Right.
But kind of ballpark, we raised just under $1 million. And last year gave out a little bit under $2 million, I believe.
Wow.
So we got to close that gap a little bit. But what's amazing is that we keep giving out that much. So whether it's kids that need childcare because families fell on a hard time, lost a job, illness, which unfortunately I see a lot in my program. So once they go through my free programs, we work a lot to get them to stay part of our Y family through the scholarship program. It's really powerful to see, and I can't imagine working anywhere that wouldn't, not just give back, but be there. Mm-hmm. We have elected officials who call up our leadership team and say, I met a family. There was a family in my office. Can you help them? And we do. Right.
What do you find most challenging about the programming, the chronic disease program? What do you find most difficult with getting the message out? Or go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No.
It's getting the message out. It's, when people hear the Y, we already talked about, they don't really think of all these different supportive programs. So for us, it's, telling community members, it's telling our members, and for us, it's also telling the medical community. We want our medical champions, our practitioners, our doctors to refer to these programs.
Right.
We cast kind of a wide net on who we can support, and we're a few years into this, and we still have a ways to go for all of our medical champions to kind of be the champions and refer. Mm-hmm. And just letting everybody know that we have all these programs because somebody somewhere knows someone that could benefit from them.
Right. Where do you see this program going in the next? I know this is a biggie. Yeah. This is a big question, but I'd like to see dream big here.
Yeah. Oh, our team dreams big every day.
Yes.
So YUSA, which is kind of the national YMCA resource. It's not, we're all operated differently and, governed differently, but they come through with priority areas, and this is a priority. So public health, healthy living, YUSA has really taken a stance saying that the Y nationally is in it. And so long term, I can't tell you what exactly at Hockomock, but I know the diabetes prevention program and any of those evidence-based programs, we are not saying bye to them. They're here. We're lucky to have a leadership team that, dedicates themselves to helping us with this. So I think for us, it's expanding. It's, reaching, we serve about maybe 400 people a year through these programs, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it's intense work. It's, the emotional component with these folks. And just, maybe we want to get to 1,000, but just continuing to spread the message and work to support all these individuals. And hopefully, we don't need a diabetes prevention program and, the Live Strong program down the road. But while we need them, we'll be here.
Right. Well, you did say about the diabetes that many people are not even aware that they're pre-diabetic. Yeah. So I think that program's going to stay.
Yeah, it's a staggering statistic. I mean, 1 in 3, and then only 10% know it. So we have some work to do. It's getting people educated about the fact that type 2 can be prevented. The financial burden once a diagnosis happens with type 2 is astronomical. So, we're really hoping that we can start to support more and more individuals in that program.
I think that's great. I mean, it's the Y does do a lot for many people, and it's not your typical gym. I know because I go there as well. And you see a lot of regular people there. And what I mean by regular people is they're not in the best of shape. They're not. I don't mean this. No. I don't mean this derogatory, but we've all seen the commercials. Yes,
absolutely.
Right. So it's. I just think it's a place for regular people.
It is.
And that really says a lot because you can be comfortable, you can ask questions, you can get to the right point person. What would you like to do though in the Y? If a position opened up miraculously, I know we're aiming big here, but
yeah,
if it miraculously opened up, like what? I know you love this program. I know you do, the chronic disease program. But if you could do anything there, what would you like to do?
You know what? I could never leave the chronic disease world.
You could do it supplemental.
But if I honestly think my dream role in the Y would be staying connected to the programs here at Hockomock, but potentially helping other Ys start them up.
Ooh.
So a lot of Ys are not as lucky as us, to have the infrastructure to do it. These programs take a lot of capacity building. They take a lot of work in the community to make sure people know about them. Training staff, all that. And there's a lot of Ys that unfortunately don't have that structure set up. So I would love to stay at Hockomock. It's in my blood. I can't leave. But,
I didn't say another Y. I said
good. All right. But, but working potentially with other area Ys to kind of do this regionally maybe to try and take that approach so we can reach even more. I don't know if I would ever want to be an executive. I like where I am. Tough question, Carrie. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, but you're obviously a people person, and you love the people that you work with.
I do.
But these programs, so how long are these programs?
Yep. So majority of them run for about 12 weeks. So the Live Strong at the Y program, our MS program, and our childhood obesity program, which I did not talk about earlier, but that's our intervention program for kids with a high BMI.
We're going to come back to that, yes.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. So those are 12 weeks. They include a family membership to the YMCA as well. So the whole family can kind of support the individual who's enrolled in making healthy habits. The diabetes prevention program runs for 16 weeks, a weekly session, and then it goes to bi-weekly, and then it goes to monthly. So that program is actually a year in length. And that was through all the research, it showed that those folks really kind of need all those touch points to make those pretty significant behavior changes.
Right. They need support, obviously, longer than 12 or 16 weeks.
And the setup is good because they get that hand-holding and that group facilitation, and then they go to a little bit more independence, and then by monthly, it's really some check-ins about some topics about, it's all about lifestyle change. It's not an exercise program. It's not a program about diet. It's all these tools so then they can go out and make the changes themselves.
So I know you started touching on the child obesity program because that's a big one, I'm assuming.
Yes.
What ages do you service? Like, is a child too young?
So our curriculum's based on 7 to 14-year-olds. We, have definitely facilitated the program for as young as 5 and as old as, the older teens. But really, we see success kind of in that 7 to 14. It's also a parent-child program. So the parent or an adult in the house is coming with the child to kind of learn those healthy tips. We always make the analogy when someone asks why it's parent-child. Well, a third grader is not going to grocery shop.
Right.
They can learn how, and that's what they do. But, there's got to be that adult who has a little bit of accountability as well.
So how do people come to your program? Do they come to your program saying my child has high blood pressure, is pre-diabetic, is overweight, the doctor's concerned? How is it that the sort of referral gets made to your program?
So a little bit of everything you just said. Okay. I'd say we're moving towards maybe about a 75% referral from a doctor. So it's all that work that I talked about our team doing out there, meeting with physicians and office managers. And we're really lucky to have some great hospitals in the area with great leadership who serve on different boards and are our champions. But then we do get the members who come in and read a flyer and say, this could be for my child or for me. And then, sometimes people stop in and just ask anyone. You mentioned all those great staff the point people and, can answer anything. And they'll say, so-and-so in my family might have this going on. Mm-hmm. And if it's something we can support, they come right to us.
The reason I say that is, I too have supported local families as well and have reported them sort of to the Y of maybe they could help. And just when I'm checking in, even if it's whoever's at the front desk or, whether it's membership director, whoever it is, whether it's fitness director, whoever, they're really good about getting back. Like, you email them, you call them. They're really good about making sure that they follow through with the programming and making that connection. I never felt like I was waiting. This is my pet peeve too. So, which is I believe in follow up.
Yes.
So I don't like to wait too long for when I make a connection because I feel like it loses momentum.
Yep.
That's just how it would be for me. But I too have been going to the Y for a number of years, and quite frankly, I didn't even know all of the programs that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, like I said, we are a great place for no matter the age, and kind of we're known as the gym, youth classes, kids classes, amazing Group X classes, but we still do have to get that message out that we do so much more. I mean, we have so many more initiatives that I don't work directly with that people also, don't know about.
So what percentage of your time is dedicated to new programming or new? I know you have some of these already set up and they run at certain times a year, right? Or if there's not a fit there might be another Y that would be a good fit. Is that how you kind of coordinate them? Because you can't start every 12 weeks.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. We run them at all 3 branches. So specifically, for example, up in North Attleboro, we start a lot of our programs right about now. So we just started a Live Strong at the Y program. That one, because that's 2 days a week and it's a little bit more intense than the other ones, it meets for an hour and a half. So we typically will run our next one at the end of this 12-week session. The other ones, we can tend to fill in and start groups on a need basis. So back to your pet peeve of waiting, when these individuals contact us, that's already the first step for some of these programs. They foot in the door, they want to join. So we try and get them first. We always answer them. We always set up our intake meeting. They are, introduced to someone right away, but it might be a few weeks before we can start one. We have a team of great coordinators and staff that, work to get them on lists and, fill those groups as soon as possible. And then in terms of new programming, we just, as soon as we see a need, we do try and fill it, which is the really great thing about my job. I mean, if there's a new program that comes down and a new need in the community, we can look to see if we can start something up.
So what would you say would help you the most with your programming? Is it money? Is it time? Is it volunteers? Is it what is it?
All of those.
Oh.
So
No, you can't use them
No,
all.
I know. We do have a lot of, specifically the Live Strong at the Y program, we do a lot of fundraising for that. That's a free program. And we feel as though that is just one that, like I already said, we will never get rid of. Our leadership has been bought in since 2010. We are one of the first Ys to join, and we do a lot of fundraising around that and have had great response from the community. And then time, I mean, everyone needs more time, right? So
I think so.
It's regardless of how many individuals we're serving and the great testimonials we get, we always want to do better. We want more classes. We want more participants. So with the more participant piece, it's still getting the word out there. So to make our programs better, we need every doctor in the area referring. We need every community member, North Attleboro and beyond, to know that we have all these, so they're referring and walking in with a family member who we can support.
And so what about the timing of these programs? Are they mostly during the day? Or are they at night? Are they varied?
We mix them up.
You do?
Yep.
Okay,
So days and evenings, we want to try and accommodate, everybody, whether they're working during the day and need evening, or they work in the evening and they need day. So we do try and accommodate best we can.
Good. What do you think? I mean, I know the programs, you talked about the programs, but what do you think makes this Y different from other Ys?
Oh,
I know.
great question.
I know. I'm not asking you to pick on anybody. I'm just saying there is a big difference in our local Y and in other ones.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the people. You said it. I mean, and as a regular member, you know the ins and outs of the Y, and you know the people. Everybody that's there is there because they're in the business of customer service. So whether or not we are on the health innovation team, or a sports director, or a part-time hourly, working a couple hours a week at the front desk, customer service comes first. And you see that every day. I also think we have just really great leadership. And whether that's from our CEO or our senior directors, but the longevity of our staff, people have been here forever. Right. And it shows, I think, that it's a place of comfort. It's a place of innovation where we go fast too. Everything is fast, but with that comes great programs and our members. We love our members, and yeah, I think we are special.
Right. No. I do think so, because it's very comforting, especially because I have a lot of these days, by the way, where I just don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
It happens. Yeah.
I just don't want to do it. I just want to go back to bed and call it a day, and I don't want to exercise. But it does become like a second home there. Yeah. And so I think that's what you alluded to earlier when you said, it's the people, it's the programming, it's the customer service. Well, we can give lip service to that. I think that people would really need to see that for themselves.
And I think we set ourselves apart from other gyms, and we know we can't always compete with the other gyms in the area that do a great job of helping people get healthy. Mm-hmm. But if you want that second home, if you want that person that knows your name when you check in, and to ask how work is and to ask how your family is, that's what the Y is about. And, that's why I think people stay with us. We have members that are going on, decades, Right. So that's pretty great to see.
When do you do most of your fundraising efforts for the chronic disease programming?
So for our chronic disease programming, it's
some of it's grant.
So a lot of it's grants. Yeah. Our annual campaign, we are kicking that off in March. Okay. So our annual campaign runs. We like to keep it kind of short and sweet, but that kicks off with our annual Reach Out for Youth and Families breakfast in March, and then we kind of try and close that up early spring. And that's really all hands on deck. Everybody, no matter what department you're in, no matter your role, you are living and breathing, trying to raise as much as we can to help everyone in our community, kids, adults, seniors, families, everyone.
And that's the gap that you talked about giving out the money.
Yes. Yep.
$2 million, raising $1 million. So
Yep.
there is
Don't quote me on those,
No.
something, the gap is there. So,
Yes.
we all know that we raise as much as we can, and our community is so, philanthropic and generous, but the need keeps going up.
Right.
So, we are here as long as the need is here, which we wish it wasn't, but we will never turn anyone away from anything at RY.
And the other thing is there's all kinds of new stuff going on there. I know we have new equipment that I can't quite figure out.
Oh.
There's new programming.
We'll help
that
you
I have
out.
No
We'll help
idea. So
We had a new kids gym built up in North Attleboro over the summer. A very generous, great friend of the Y, the Doran family, donated, and as a mom of a toddler, kids love it. It's great. So it's really kind of brought a lot of fun for the kids up there too. And we just painted inside.
I saw that.
Oh, good.
I saw that. It's
so you
blue.
have been there recently.
Yeah, I went today.
Good.
I
Good
went
girl.
today. It was blue. It was
It's blue,
on
yep.
the outside. I was like, wait a minute, that's not
Yeah.
supposed to be blue. But
Nice
hold
and
on.
bright for you.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I think what I would like to sort of dive into a little bit. We only have about 5 minutes left,
Okay.
but I wanted to make sure that we touch upon as much as we can. And you mentioned that it's not everything for everybody. In other words, it doesn't fill every single gap. The Y is not for everyone. So let's talk about what it's not,
Okay.
because it may not be. If someone who wants to go to a gym, work out by themselves, pay $5 a month.
Not talk to anybody, get their
Right,
workout
exactly.
in and head out. We know that. And we don't really, I think the recent years we figured out that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We are predominantly a family. A ton of our membership base, I don't know the exact percentage, but it's up there. We serve families, and we do a great job of that. We serve when you want to talk to someone, when you want that friendship with a trainer or our wellness staff or the front desk, that's who we're for. And, like I said, we're okay with that. We just want to be there for who needs us.
Right. And I think it's important to know what you are and what you're not.
Absolutely. Yep.
Because, again, I don't know that you're looking for the members who want to spend $5 a month.
Right. And, because we're so much more, we never will be $5 a month.
Right.
When you look at what you get in your membership, the access to, if it fits for that membership type, family events, free family events, free babysitting, free group exercise classes, access to the wellness team upstairs that they're not just there to make sure things are clean. They're there as a resource. They're there to teach you that new equipment that you said you can't figure out.
Yeah.
So it really is.
It's kind of funny. It does everything at once between heart rate and it does all kinds of stuff.
It's really great. We got to get you.
No, I'm on it.
Okay, good.
I'm on a very basic level.
We're joking about it, but what's great about that equipment, it can also be very basic. So I do remember when we launched, a lot of our program participants are not technologically savvy, and they're not into electronics, and it's okay. We can just hit go and they can just go. But it's great for that technologically savvy generation too that's kind of coming up that wants everything attached to their iPhone, and it's pretty great equipment.
Fantastic. And so, Caitlyn, how would people reach you? Phone, email?
Me personally?
Yeah, you personally. Yeah.
All right. Probably email.
Okay.
Yep.
So
You want it?
Yes, please.
All right. So it's Caitlyn, Caitlin, as in Gibbs, at HOCKYMCA.org. So
Okay.
it's Caitlyn G at HockYMCA.org.
And you couldn't point anyone regarding the chronic disease programming or where
Anything.
when the next one's going to start
Absolutely.
up,
Yep.
how to go about meeting the criteria or what have you.
Absolutely. And then on our website, in the healthy living, health maintenance, on those pages, we have direct contact that goes right to our team. So if anybody listening wants to kind of check out what we have to offer and then want to ask questions, that goes directly to us. But always happy to talk about scholarship assistance, other programs, because when it gets right down to it, we are a team. Right. I might, work with the health innovation team, but I'm a Y girl at heart, and that's what we're here for.
Well, thank you so much, Caitlyn, for
Thanks
coming
for having
in.
me. This was fun.
It was a lot of fun because we
Yeah.
had no idea really what we were going to talk about. But tonight I want to leave with this quote. I like this one. And it's a Y quote. It says, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you.
That's great.
And I do believe in challenges.
Absolutely.
Just in life. So I think that it was great that you were able to come and talk about these programs because they are so important to so many people. And
Thank you.
so thank you again.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right.